How it do, Scooby-Doo, and welcome to Unknown. I'm Luke.
And I'm Roman, and today we're in a new location. New location for every episode after this for the time being.
Well, anyways, today's topic is early 2000s nostalgia.
Yeah, and I know that's a bit different from the topics that we've had in previous episodes, but those were really broad things that I felt like a general audience could watch. And now that we've, kind of gotten our footing in this, I think it's really fun to go into some more niche topics.
This will definitely be a little trip to a blast from the past for those born from 1990s to, well, the early 2000s.
Yeah, like earlier Zoomers, like that generation.
This is the stuff that you grew up watching, and well, I don't know much about books in the early 2000s, so.
Yeah, and we found that when we do just kind of speak from our minds instead of having a little script planned, it kind of flows better. So we don't really have much planned for this. We're just gonna kind of talk as it comes to our minds.
Which is good, because I don't have a script. I'm winging this.
Yeah. Well, even if you had one in the past, you just didn't follow it. But I'm gonna let you start because this was your idea.
Think about all the things that you watched as a child, whether it be shows, YouTube videos, animated movies. It just, compared to the stuff nowadays, it just doesn't ring a bell. When I look back at the things I grew up with, I might just have rose-colored glasses on, the sense of nostalgia making it look and make me remember it better than it actually was.
Yeah, I guess we should stop and actually explain what nostalgia is. If some people doesn't know what that word means, it's just like remembering very fondly something that happened in the past, like your childhood. Like you think back of all the fun things you did, the places you went, the people you knew, and everything just seemed so great back then, and so you just have such an emotional connection to it.
And now, that brings me to this. When I look at the stuff kids are watching nowadays, it just makes me feel like they're not getting the same experience we had. The stuff that they're watching just seems lackluster in comparison.
But, I mean, you're a big fan of the Owl House.
Well, I'm not saying there isn't anything they won't look back on fondly. I'm just saying that it seems like we had better content. For example, Hotel Transylvania 3. Think anybody's gonna remember that?
Is that the one where they're on the cruise?
It is the one on the cruise. I watched 1 and 3. I did not see 2
Me too.
or 4.
Yeah, but I mean, I think I do agree that there was passion behind a lot of what was made back then, and now it's just so blatantly money driven.
Exactly.
Look, I am a Marvel shill. We've talked about this on the show. I eat up everything the company produces, but it's they're all the same.
Exactly.
They're all the same product,
and
that's why I like it, because it's comforting.
And here's another thing about current day animated movies. It's all not 3D in the sense of 3D glasses, but it's all 3D animated. You know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Explain it to them.
Yeah, well, I mean, just to give an example, a lot of people are kind of frustrated with Disney for a multitude of reasons, but more specifically, they moved away from traditional 2D animation. Well, I believe they moved away from traditional animation even sooner. So just to explain what that means for those of you who don't know, traditional animation means that they are hand-drawn on paper. They draw every frame of the movie on paper, and they put those frames together in rapid succession, and it makes it look like the pictures are moving together. Yeah. And then you could do that digitally too. Each frame you draw digitally on the computer. But I believe, in terms of their princess movies that Disney makes, Tangled was the first one that did 3D animation. So they'll make like a 3D model that exists in 3D space in a computer, and they can animate the characters that way. In comparison to like Princess and the Frog, which is the one that came up before it, where it's 2D. And I can put up an example between us right here, the difference between 2D and 3D animation. And you can see it once you look at it.
And that was fine. The early 3D stuff, you could still tell that they put a lot of heart into it, a lot of effort, but nowadays I just can't say the same. It's just really disappointing, and it's even more disappointing that the 2D animation is going out the window as well. I mean, look at like stuff like Treasure Planet, Atlantis, The Road to El Dorado, even some like Japanese anime movies such as like Spirited Away and Ponyo and Howl's Moving Castle. All that came out in the early 2000s. I'm just disappointed that it seems like that stuff is not coming out as often as it used to be. I know it's more difficult, but
yeah, I mean, it's just like, I think it's just a reflection of the state of the world that we're living in right now. We're just, not to be all like
doom and gloom,
heady, but like it's just, we live in a world now where it's just so hard to take risk, and especially creative risk.
Mm-hmm.
Just money is so tight for so many people, and whether that's a huge company or just a singular person, like there's a reason why they found a formula that works with those Marvel movies and ran with it. You know, it's not animation, but the same thing still applies.
I'll be honest, I'm getting tired of Marvel movies, and I mean, it just seems like I'm sorry. I stopped the burp. It just seems like modern Marvel movies, they know what they can get away with now, so now you can just see them cutting corners a bit, especially with like the CGI. I'm not saying all the CGI in the movies are terrible, but like, come on, look at She-Hulk and Doctor Strange's third eye.
Listen.
And then in DC, in the Wonder Woman 1987, I think it was, she like clips into the road at one point, and there's like an after image of where the kids were laying when she saved them.
Okay, that was a goofy scene, but I'm just saying, this guy's giving She-Hulk criticism having not seen it, and I'm trying to tell you that the CGI is better in the show.
I've seen the trailer. She looks like green
Yeah.
Michael Jackson.
No, they've improved it since the trailer. Whatever, I'm not here to argue about that.
They did the same thing with the Sonic movie. They put up terrible CGI to drive interest in the movie.
Oh, you think that was purposeful?
For the Sonic movie, definitely.
Okay.
For She-Hulk, I'm unsure.
Yeah, I don't know about Sonic. The Sonic conspiracy, I think it may be true because they had ugly Sonic in the Chip and Dale movie, the Rescue Rangers movie. I didn't see that, but I think like literally ugly Sonic, his original appearance, I think that was planned. That was a plan, just to have him in the Rescue Rangers movie.
Just so you know, everything in Sonic is canon. The creators of Sonic have admitted it, that everything in Sonic is canon. So ugly Sonic is canon.
Yes. But also, just to state before we get too into it, we've been talking a lot about movies and TV, but really it's just, I have some other things I want to talk about too. It's just we've experienced.
I do want to talk about early 2000s Minecraft YouTubers.
Because just like in general, don't you feel like the years and decades are just sort of blending together? Like, how is the 2010s any different from this decade? Like, I feel like the 2000s was like the last one where it had such a culture about it.
Mm-hmm. I was born in 2002.
Yeah, we probably should have started with that. Me too. So we're both 02 babies. So we basically grew up in the 2000s. And maybe not so much early 2000s nostalgia, but 2000s nostalgia.
And it's not just, like he just said, we're going to be talking about more than just the movies and shows. I particularly want to talk about Minecraft YouTubers and the video games that came out in the early 2000s.
Yeah, but I guess just to wrap up this section, this intro here, I just feel like, I don't know, it's just like everything has been commodified, and all these kids nowadays are just like living the same life. They're all like just into the same things, and
I feel that
Gen Alpha is scary.
I just feel that there's a little quality content coming out nowadays.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like you said, they don't want to take risks anymore, and the stuff that's actually good is few and far between.
Something I want to do an episode on in the future is just either social media or YouTube specifically, because that gets into like all that crazy like Spider-Man and Elsa content that's being pumped out on YouTube. YouTube has just recently started cracking down on that stuff.
Ooh, I think I know, like that video, like the animals and just, you know.
Yeah, but like those videos are what kids like the wonderful memories that we have of our childhood. When we were like kids that are that age now are watching those stupid videos.
And is just killing their brain cells. My God.
But hasn't every generation said that about the next one?
Well, yes, but I was watching actual content, not a looped fucking video of a bunch of like animals making random noises and then doing like a pole vaulting to get keys to unlock a door. I may have gotten caught in a 10-minute video of watching that. I would like to get started first on the TV shows and movies we grew up with. Specifically for me, I watched SpongeBob, which is still going by the way, Timmy Turner, Danny Phantom, Jimmy Neutron, Avatar The Last Airbender, Wizards of Waverly Place, those, and Drake and Josh, those were like the key corner pieces of my childhood in terms of TV shows.
Yeah, if you don't mind me jumping in here, because I share a lot of those.
Mm-hmm.
Mine is like very clearly broken down into like 3 segments, where I started watching like, you know, little kids cartoons like SpongeBob, and I wasn't like one of those idiot children where their parents don't let them watch SpongeBob.
That's my...
What's wrong with you? If you like, are you okay? If you were one of those children, like, I'm worried about you. Anyway, yeah.
Can you cut this bit out? But you know, that was my aunt and my cousin. She didn't let me watch SpongeBob.
I'm not cutting that out. People need to hear this shit.
Well, I don't want my aunt to find it and think like I'm bashing her.
Hey,
but, like,
this is my opinion. Leave Luke out of it, but I think that's weird.
I agree. It's weird and it's stupid.
Okay,
but
well,
like, you know.
To go back to what I was saying, I started watching like those cartoons, like Jimmy Neutron. I somehow just missed Danny Phantom. I don't know how. But,
I know. Wait, didn't you also miss Avatar: The Last Airbender?
I missed that too. It just went over my head. I don't know. But SpongeBob, Jimmy Neutron. What was the other one?
Timmy Turner.
Yeah, really hot
Wizards
parents.
of Waverly Place.
Well, then I was gonna say I this is like late in the game, but in like 2009 I moved to a house and I just completely revamped everything I was watching. And so it was like iCarly, then it started getting into like the live action stuff. So iCarly, Wizards of Waverly Place, Drake and Josh, Zoe 101, and I met Jamie Lynn Spears in person one time.
Did you watch Ned Declassified School Survival Guide?
Yes, I watched that too. And then it moved into like the new-ish era of cartoons. It was new at the time. I guess they all were new at the time, but I mean like Gravity Falls, Adventure Time.
Mm-hmm.
This is like not even 2000s anymore. It's into the 2010s, but Steven Universe and what are some other ones? There were some more. Regular Show was a big one. Mad. Like they would all come on like in a row on weeknights, and I would stay up and I would watch them.
The only 2 of those I've seen, I've seen clips and maybe like an episode or two of all
Chowder
of them.
too.
But the only one I actually watched through in completion is Steven Universe and Gravity Falls.
Gravity Falls and Steven Universe are so good. Steven Universe, I cannot stress this enough. I'm always gonna have a wreck in every episode, and these are my wrecks for this episode. Gravity Falls is so much more of a complete package than Steven Universe is. Steven Universe kind of had a awful ending.
It did. A terrible ending.
That was like, they did like a spin-off series at the end unnecessarily called Steven Universe Future. Just don't watch it. Honestly, just don't.
Watch the movie.
Watch the movie because they introduced the best character of all time.
I love that character.
And she has her own musical number. I don't want to spoil it at all, but go watch the movie if you haven't.
And so there's also like a bunch of small shows that like they were either a hit or a miss. Like, I don't know how else to explain, but like stuff like Tack and the Power of Juju, you haven't heard that one? The Mighty Bee.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, My Life as a Teenage Robot, that's another one. And then there was one more, Making Fiends.
Did you ever watch, I think like it's in a similar vein, but Almost Naked Animals? What the hell was that? They were just like, you know how like Mickey Mouse or Donald Duck wear like only partial clothing? Mm-hmm. And it's just like acceptable for some reason? The show is kind of like a play on that, where it's like this dog is only wearing a top, and it was very strange. And I don't feel like a show like that could fly nowadays.
And then there was shucks, I had in my head Fish Hooks. That's another one.
That's how I found out about Justin Roiland.
I don't know who that is.
Voice of Lemongrab and creator of Rick and Morty and voice of Rick and Morty. He's hilarious.
Then yeah, Dragon Ball, that's a classic, and Pokemon, of course, there's those consistently. And then there's the real weird stuff that you don't know how it got past, such as Pig, Goat, Banana, Cricket, Fanboy, and Chum Chum. Is it?
I think so. I've unfortunately also seen Fanboy and Chum Chum, but no, there were a lot of shows that came out later in the 2000s that were just.
I think that was a downfall of some of like the. Industries. Sonic X, another amazing one.
The Amazing World of Gumball.
Never saw it.
I haven't seen the whole thing. I think it's still going, honestly. They just keep changing the voice actor of Gumball, but it's a really good show. They mix like live action. Like they'll have like a real house the cartoon characters are living in. It's great.
I've seen clips, and I'm upset that I missed that and Adventure Time growing up. But
yeah, Adventure Time. I can't neglect saying how wonderful a show that is.
And then here's the thing: they just don't know when to kill off a show. I mean, the early SpongeBob, amazing. The new SpongeBob, not very good. The characters are watered down, they don't have as much personality, and a lot of the jokes seem more childish. Now, there are a good bit of episodes where, newer episodes where it's still funny, just, it's not our type of humor anymore. But then there's Timmy Turner. They should have killed that long ago. I think when they introduced a Cosmo and Wanda's child, Poof, that was when it started going down.
Poof.
Cosmo was the one who carried the baby. He was the one that was pregnant.
That's right, yeah. More progressive. Anyway, yeah, I just brought up a list of shows right here just to jog my memory. But there were a lot that I was like aware of, but didn't really watch religiously, like Backyardigans, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. Kim Possible. What is that?
Totally Spies, The Chalk Zone, Phil of the Future.
Oh, I remember Phil of the Future.
Jake the American Dragon, and Lilo and Stitch. Okay, I just
Flapjack. Oh my gosh, Flapjack is amazing.
what's that one? Oh, I barely remember that one.
Proud Family.
The Proud Family. I just want to say this really quick. Lilo and Stitch, the TV show, had a bunch of crossover episodes with Jake the American Dragon, Kim Possible, Kids at Recess, and the Proud Family. It had 4 different crossovers.
A lot of those go to like the 90s though, right?
Well, I guess so,
I
but
mean,
like
I'm assuming a
we
lot of these
watched
do.
it in the 20s, so you know, early 2000s.
Also, I don't know if I mentioned this, but Sweet Life of Zack and Cody and Sweet Life on Deck. I was obsessed with both of those shows when they were coming out. That's what introduced me to Debbie Ryan when she was on that.
I was not allowed to watch that growing up.
Mr. Mosby, I just have become him in old age. I base my personality off of him.
That's so Raven.
That was a good show. My mom loved watching that show with me. Wonder Pets.
What's
Max and
gonna
Ruby.
work?
Oh, Handy Mandy.
I was a Bob the Builder kid.
Manny. I didn't watch Bob the Builder.
I watched everything. Like, I watched. This is getting into little kids shows, but like I watched Dora the Explorer, Go Diego Go, Power Rangers, Bear in the Big Blue House. I watched everything.
Were there some that like you were aware of but knew was a bit before your time, so you just never watched? Like even Stevens.
I
Is
knew
that
about.
Shia LaBeouf? I think so. And then there was another one like Lizzie McGuire. It was always like on in the background, but I never watched it.
I had the Game Boy game for Lizzie McGuire. Ain't that so great? Hannah Montana.
Oh yeah.
And then Pete and Pete. Let's see what Pete and Pete.
Did I ever tell you how I got to meet Jason Earl Jones? I'm saying Jason Earl Jones because I'm confusing him with the Darth Vader. It's just Jason Earls. Okay. But what's his name? Jason Daniel Earls. Okay, that's what I'm getting confused. He's an American actor known for his role as Jackson Stewart in Disney's sitcom. That's his name. Okay, I met him one time in person. I got an autograph at somewhere. He was so awkward. He's like, hey buddy, are you expecting Hannah? Oh wait, Mitchell Musso. Remember him? He was on Pair of Kings.
I did not watch that.
He was on Pair of Kings and he left to start his music career, and then Luther from Zeke and Luther.
I did not watch that one either.
Yeah. Kicking It. You watched that, right?
No.
Kicking It was great.
I watched a bit of Lab Rats. Okay.
They were hot. The whole cast. Anyway.
Have y'all ever, y'all remember The Emperor's New Groove, obviously, that movie. But did y'all know that there was a 2-season TV show called The Emperor's New School, following Cusco? And then there was...
I vaguely remember that.
There was one more thing I wanted to mention. I just remembered it and then forgot it immediately. Okay. Now, these were incredible shows. I'm pretty sure they were Canadian. I gotta look it up. But Unnatural History was a 1-season show, 2010. I loved it. And another one that me and my siblings loved was Tower Prep, an American Canadian TV series, also 2010, also 1 season. It was incredible. I loved it. It got canceled because the creators of the show were misogynistic. But it was a good show.
Did you ever have a Discovery Kids phase? That was my favorite channel. I would watch it. I'd make Discovery Kids fan art. I love just the idea of the channel. It's a channel. It's not just one show. And I loved it. And then due to funding issues, it didn't. It wasn't around anymore. Maybe it came back. That's not it. But there was some dinosaur show where like the dinosaur can talk.
Oh,
Dinotopia?
wow. Was that one where it's also dinosaurs and it's like deep, 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 deep water? It's like, speaking of strange TV shows that you had to be on a certain channel to watch, Martha the Talking Dog. She was this lab that could, it was an animated show. She was a lab that could speak because she ate alphabet soup. She knew the human language through alphabet soup. And then there was a Word Girl, incredibly underrated. And then there's this, I forgot to mention Little Einstein, so that's not relevant to what I'm talking right now.
I love Little Einsteins.
But then there's a Fetch. It was like this game show for kids. And then there's like that old Brain Games for like kids.
I recognize the name, but I don't.
Like, well, no, there is a show called Brain Games, but it's not the one I'm talking about. It was like on Nick, and they would flood the kids with slime.
Stop. Okay. Anyway, I was reminded of it's Dino Sapien, which is the name of. Did I just jog your memory?
It's just
What is that?
El Tigre.
Oh, I've seen this artist on Twitter, but I've never heard of this.
El Tigre. Yeah, when he spins the little belt on him, he like turns into a superhero. His grandfather was a villain, and his father was a superhero. So he had to like decide which one to go for.
Yeah, but that was on that's this Nickelodeon, so I don't know why it's here. But Dino Sapien was like a movie about a talking dinosaur. There was also a show on Discovery Kids called Crash Bang Splat, where they would do science experiments that I would always force my mother to go buy things in the grocery store for me to do at home. There was Prehistoric Planet. Wait, no. Prehistoric Park, I think. Prehistoric Planet is a new documentary where it's really good CGI for the time of like unconventional prehistoric creatures, like not like just like a T-Rex. Land Before Time?
Land Before Time. That's the one where it's deep, deep, deep water.
That wasn't on Discovery Kids though, right? It's just a dinosaur show. Okay. Any more shows?
Last two, before we switch over to, something else.
There's gonna be, I don't mean to interrupt you, but there's gonna be a bunch we forget about, and I'm gonna put mine right here, and when Luke is done speaking, Luke it is.
The Land Before Time, we just mentioned that. Sonic X, loved it. If you stayed up late at night, you would, with the right channel, you would get gargoyles. And then I want to talk about Fetch. There's not really much to talk about, but like, it was a game show for kids, and they would get like sent across the country to participate in these games, and like the winner got this prize. That's all I can remember from it.
Okay, I just got reminded of something, so we gotta move on to movies.
Alright, let's move on. Oh shit, Princess Diana died.
Okay, before I forget, we want to start with movies, and this one was just on my feed here. Disney's Dinosaur. I love that movie so much, and they have a dinosaur ride at Animal Kingdom. One of my favorites. It's like Disney's take to try to get the fame and recognition that Jurassic Park did for Universal. And it's not as good, but I love the movie. I love it.
My childhood movies that are not like, you know how some TV shows would have movies for them?
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk about those, but what I am going to talk about are my favorite childhood movies. Treasure Planet, The Road to El Dorado, Coraline, Happy Feet. And what's the one with the robots?
I think it's just called Robots. With Rodney
that's
Copperbottom.
it. That's Robots. I love that one. You loved Atlantis.
Yeah, we already talked enough about Atlantis in the last episode. See this video here for
Ice Age. All of these are classic.
Oh, the
Cars,
Ice Age
Lilo
series
and
is really
Stitch.
good.
The Polar Express. Meet the Robinsons. Sky High. I mean, Monster House.
Yeah. I feel like we could do a whole episode on Disney Channel original movies, though. Don't you think?
Maybe.
Yeah, Wendy Wu. I forget. Minutemen, and like Can of Worms are the ones that always go. Ooh, Halloween Town. Oh my gosh, I watch Halloween Town every year.
Oh my god.
I'm watching that this October. I'm watching all of them. I think there's like 3.
Then like stuff like Over the Hedge, the Scooby-Doo movie, Spiderwick. Have y'all seen Spiderwick?
That is it. That's a series, right? Or is that just
The Spiderwick Chronicles was a book series.
There's the books, yeah.
But I only remember seeing one movie, and then there was also like the computer game that I'm really upset because probably shithead child me scratched up the disc to where it's unplayable.
Is Narnia, is that...
I don't care if it's not early 2000s. Narnia was incredible.
Have you heard of this film? The Last Mimsy.
No.
It has Catherine Hahn in it? Oh my god. Listen, okay, this is one of those movies where it like... I thought it was a fever dream until somebody brought it up again on TikTok. I have to remind myself what it's about, but it's like this alien... It's like an alien kids movie where like this weird creature inhabits like a little doll. I'm freaking out about Catherine Hahn because I love her as Agatha in WandaVision.
I just remembered one show, H2O. It was about mermaids with water powers. There's that.
There was also a Disney Channel original movie about a guy mermaid, right?
Yeah. And then there was also, Holes. Y'all remember? That's a classic.
Yeah.
Holes.
Our like graduating class had to read that in elementary school. Do like book reports on it.
Now that being said,
Also with Shia LaBeouf. Stanley Yelnats, I'll never forget that name.
One time when I was younger, I was trying to look for the movie Holes on Netflix, and I ended up watching something called Hole, like just a singular or maybe The Hole, and
that is dangerous.
It was a scary movie. There's this
What kind of scary?
Not like creepy ghost satanic shit.
Say so.
There's this like little bottomless pit in the kid's basement, and they like tied a camera to a rope, and it just kept going down and down and down. Then when they like brought back up, it was just black, pure black. It showed nothing. And then like when the kids looked away, an eye appeared on the camera and scared the shit out of me. And then there was this like little creepy jester that like little jester doll. It would just like move whenever the kids weren't looking, threw glass bottles at them. Then at one point just like zoomed in on its creepy fucking face, and the thing goddamn blinked.
Okay, this is a good segue into
Mostly ghostly?
No, just like movies, or just like scenes in movies and TV shows that just scarred you as a kid. One that comes to mind for me, literally just the entirety of The Neverending Story. Both movies. The second one with like the bird creature, I don't know what's about him. It's so frightening. It's like a little kid just like in a completely alien world and he doesn't know what's going on.
Real quick, shows that we missed, there's a movie, Mostly Ghostly. There's this werewolf movie where the kid was like a werewolf, and then My Babysitter Was a Vampire was a TV show that I forgot to mention. But things that scarred me, I'm sorry, but the whole movie with like the creepy jester doll, and then the Headless Horseman movie. My dad thought it would be a good idea to have me watch that with him.
The Disney one or the live action?
The live action.
The Sleepy Hollow?
Yeah, whenever there's like this man went to this woman out in the woods and she was like still moving around, but she had like maggots crawling out of her face. That was terrifying.
Do you feel like our generation had a lot more horror?
Yes.
We were supposed to, yeah. Like just like there was a lot like gritty and like grimy goth horror stuff that we watched. Like Invader Zim. Like I didn't really watch that too, but like that was what's the one cartoon with like the Grim Reaper in it?
Bill and Mandy?
Yeah, it's like
even
there was just like a horror undertone to all the stuff we watched. I don't know.
Even SpongeBob, there would just be a few scenes in very random episodes where it just
Yeah.
gets like hyper definition, disgusting look. And there's the episode where, SpongeBob got that splinter and got like all.
I heard they don't do those anymore because they're just.
And then there's the
Yeah.
one where they were moving Squidward's couch and he dropped the couch on his foot and pulled off his fingernail. Oh god, toenail, Jesus Christ.
Oh no, here it is.
The trauma.
Yeah.
There's the movie Shark Tales.
Yeah, that one too. With the beloved Will Smith.
Chicken Run. I somehow loved that movie, but was also terrified of it.
Yeah, that's in the same vein as like Wallace and Gromit and like what's the other one?
Flushed Away. I didn't watch it.
Yeah, Flushed Away.
What about Coraline? And did you see the movie 9 with the little puppet creatures?
Yeah, just recently. It wasn't as good as I thought it was gonna be. But my dad always seemed interested in it, and he's like, we should sit down.
I loved watching it as a kid, but now as an adult, I can't really care for the plot. But the animation and how, like, the main villain, spoiler alert, the main villain would, like, repurpose items and their own dead bodies to create these monsters.
Yeah.
Incredible stuff.
Yeah, it's I always love stories where it's like humans are just gone and it's a world with like populated with monsters that humans left behind and underdogs that are trying to save the day. I love that sort of dynamic. This is a franchise that I think we watched grow out of our age dynamic. Like we it didn't grow with us. It stayed stagnant and we moved on. You know what it is? You know what I'm getting at? Madagascar. I remember the original. I was like, I love this. I think that was the first movie I ever saw in theaters. And then it just like, Afro Circus, that meme. It's like, ooh, that was like the first moment I think I ever felt in my entire life where I was like, for this. It's like a 10-year-old.
There was the great show, Penguins of Madagascar, where they were in the zoo.
That was
And then they made the bad spin-off with King Julian.
King Julian's great though.
And then, I'm sorry, these 3 movies I want to bring up real quick. Surf's Up with the surfing penguins, Over the Hedge.
Over the Hedge was also great. Over the Hedge had the first cinematic appearance of a Karen ever.
And then Kung Fu Panda.
I hear like people legitimately
Don't like Kung Fu?
love those movies. I just thought it was another animated kid. Well, I just haven't really seen them, but like there is just completely unadulterated love for all of those movies. They think they're some of the best written villains ever. I'm like, what? It's like a peacock. What are you talking? I guess I have to watch them. I mean, I don't know.
Shrek was a classic.
Ooh, How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh, I don't want to say favorite, but like I love these two. Is How to Train Your Dragons, Frozen. Well, of course, I can't really.
You
say
like
that.
Frozen?
Yeah, of course I like Frozen.
It's good, but it's just been torn to shreds.
True.
I like.
But Brave, I believe Brave is an underrated.
That's just because he thinks Merida's hot.
No, it's Irish. It has bears. I like the Irish and Scottish. I like their accents, and they have a lot of redheads, which it's just. But I like bears. Bears are incredible. It had a great story to it.
Yeah, I do know he likes bears from our Mammals vs. Fish debate.
So like maybe when I was younger, I liked Meredith, but like. Yeah, I was a kid.
It's Merida. At least get the name right. Another thing that scarred me, and to the point where I never got to see the full movie, was The Dark Crystal. But that, like the original film, but that has completely changed. The new series on Netflix, Age of Resistance, is amazing, and I'm very upset that it was not renewed for a second season. Well, I think this is a good point to move away from movies.
Yes.
Okay.
What I want to talk about next is YouTube content. Specifically, Minecraft YouTube content. When I look at the modern Minecraft YouTube content, I am disappointed. The only ones that strike out to me are Hermitcraft and just Hermitcraft.
Yeah.
The Dream just seems like
don't even
The
watch
old-
Minecraft anymore. Just don't.
The old Minecraft content was much more unique and involved. Like, for example, here are the things that I miss from old Minecraft videos. Mod showcases. They don't make them like they used to. It used to be the person playing through it, showing you all of it. Now it's just, it's all boring now. They don't have put effort into it. They're just like, here it is, give me views. And then, like, they don't make Minecraft mods like they used to. And another thing I missed from old Minecraft YouTube videos were the maps and the add-ons. Like, these used to be fully in-depth maps with storylines and convoluted characters, and it was incredible. They used to do all these like cool ass shit with these add-ons for these maps, and now they just don't make videos about them anymore.
Yeah, and you know, being that I'm the one who's editing these videos, and I've made videos in the past, and I watch YouTube more than literally anything else nowadays. Like, I'm not watching any current shows. It has to really catch my attention to watch it nowadays. Like, you know, the Owl House, a modern cartoon.
Also, you know, two other good modern cartoons are Amphibia and The Ghost and Molly McGee.
Yeah. But that's all to say that, like, YouTube has just, I've watched it change. I was there since the beginning, and I've watched it change. And it's so large now that, like, videos that were viral when the site was first getting popular, there are hundreds, thousands of those daily. And they're dead in a day. Because we transport media between ourselves so quickly now, it's just, like, memes last 12 to 24 hours. Seriously. Like, if you are posting it a day late, and this is like a unique sort of perspective from my end, and I can get more into it when we do like a social media episode, but as an artist online as well, there are art challenges that will arise, and trying to balance that on top of, like, you know, work and classes and all this other stuff that I'm doing right now, like editing these videos, I need to do that drawing. Like, when I see it on Twitter in the morning, I need to do the drawing, and I need to upload it. And that only works on something like Twitter, where, like, you can upload very quickly. All you have to just post an image. Whereas YouTube, I put a little more effort into these videos. But anyway, like, we started with such simple things. I think this image right here really sums it up. I'm gonna save it to my computer real quick so I can have it right here. But, like,
Nyan Cat.
Neon Cat,
Fred, the Annoying Orange.
Annoying Orange, I would watch religiously. When Tobuscus uploaded the new episode, I would watch it religiously.
Smosh.
I never watched them.
The old Smosh was amazing. The current Smosh is good too, but, like, the old Smosh, me and my brother would watch a lot.
Before we start listing off YouTubers that we used to watch, what was your introduction? Do you remember, like, the first video you saw that really caught your attention? The first thing that made you realize, oh, this is a place where I can go for actual content?
Actually, my first introduction was, I can't remember if it was Smosh, Tobuscus, or Markiplier. It was one of those three.
I thought Markiplier kind of rose to fame later. I didn't know.
Ooh. I
word
watched
for
it early. I don't know if it was like early on, but
I didn't start watching YouTubers though. That wasn't my experience with it. For me, I would go over to friends' houses, and I would just sit on, like, their family computer in the kitchen and spend all day, like, well into the night, all day long, just watching videos where it's like top 10 alien sightings, or like cryptid found in Mexico, or like the megalodon, does it still exist? Like those original videos that are still being made today. I was like, oh my gosh, and I thought all of it was true, of course, because it was my first time, like, really experiencing the internet. From the very beginning, and I think YouTube propagated it a lot. Who does? Slenderman.
oh, Slenderman.
Slenderman specifically. Did he, like, birth the idea of creepypastas?
I don't No. I think there's some creepypastas out there before that, but I believe he became he was one of the earliest ones and the most popular ones.
Regardless, we're gonna do an episode of creepypastas down the line. We might combine it with SCPs because they're pretty similar in concept. But I feel like YouTube really propagated that too. And there are a lot of early YouTubers that I eventually came around to start watching, like Jenna Marbles, who recently left the internet as a whole. Can you imagine doing that? I know you don't know Jenna Marbles, but just completely leaving the internet. I know I couldn't.
There's this. Okay, so there was this old anime YouTuber I used to watch called Einstein. I loved his content when I was younger, but I don't know what happened. Lost Pause. He used to do these visual novel playthroughs, and that they were completely fine, but YouTube had some type of vendetta against him, and he doesn't do those anymore, and I miss that.
YouTube still does that crap.
Yeah.
YouTube still has its favorites. I'm such a shame. I forget the original YouTuber's name, but Jacksepticeye just recently put up a video addressing this current problem with YouTube where there is favoritism. They just see some YouTubers as more ad friendly, and so they prioritize their monetization over others. And Jacksepticeye addressed a YouTube video made by somebody who knows a lot more about it. I can link it in the description, but it was a really good video that just came out. But before all that crap was a thing, it was so simple, and you could get away with whatever. Llamas with hats, salad fingers, which is still ongoing. I don't know if you know.
Really?
Yeah.
I know Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared is coming out with more
Don't
content.
Hug Me, I'm Scared. The Dog Walked Up to the Lemonade Stand. Charlie the Unicorn. All those things that were tangential to Annoying Orange, I think.
You remember Happy Wheels?
Yeah.
That was big. PewDiePie, Jacksepticeye, Markiplier.
Introduced it. Yeah, I guess that's a very specific moment in time, the trifecta of Markiplier, PewDiePie, and Jacksepticeye.
I think.
And how today they're we keep in touch, but we're not really friends. Y'all made that up. I find that so interesting. Every chance Jack gets, he's no, Mark's a nice guy, but he's just another YouTuber. It's crazy how much the internet can just run with these ideas, and there's ship art of them, and it's oh my gosh.
Do you remember that one little I think it was just the maze game where
the jump scare?
Yeah, the jump scare at the end.
That was a big thing on early YouTube, where it was just something you would send to your aunt that scares really easily. Just, hey, Aunt Diane, do this maze. Tell me if you win. Oh, and this is something I want to touch on. Like I said a few times already in this episode, I think we're gonna do an episode on social media, and that'll include YouTube. But so we'll talk about current YouTubers that we like in that episode. But a group of YouTubers that I watch now and have watched since the very beginning, the first YouTubers that I subscribed to, the first ones that I saw as a personality, Rhett and Link, Good Mythical Morning. I have watched them forever. I love them so much. They practically raised me. It was what got me up in the morning to go to school every day. And I honestly have to thank them to a certain extent for what they provided to me over the years. It's honestly amazing what they've done, and they're constantly on the cutting edge of YouTube. They're always trying to improve, and it's amazing. When they could have taken so many opportunities to just stop and sit back and just keep doing what they were always doing, but they're always improving. It's amazing. I even got to meet them.
I watched a little of Rhett and Link, just enough to get caught into their parody songs. They did their own version of Epic Rap Battles, Geek versus Nerd.
Yeah.
And there's this a zombie apocalypse one because they ate some type of ice cream.
There's I'm on Vacation, which is that one. There's Get Off the Phone. There's Rub Some Bacon on it. Like, what was the early internet's obsession with bacon?
It's good shit.
It is good, but like,
that's another thing I miss from old Minecraft videos. They don't make Minecraft parody YouTube videos, just Minecraft animation or Minecraft original songs with animation. They don't make those anymore.
What Minecraft YouTubers did you watch?
I watched the Diamond Minecart and
I watched Stampy. I love Stampy. I still check out on him every once in a while. I watched Corrales, like his inspiration series early on, and I watched popular MMOs.
Yeah, those were my two were the Diamond Minecart and popular MMOs.
Yeah. I haven't watched them forever, but I keep up with Corrales and I keep up with Stampy every once in a while.
What I want to talk about next is video games from my childhood. Whether they came out in 2000s or not, it's just what I started playing. My two childhood video games were Paper Mario, The 1,000-Year Door, and Drawn to Life. Not Scribblenauts. Drawn to Life is something completely different. I also grew up playing Fossil Fighters. I love that game. Jaden Animations did a video on it, and that got me all excited. I was like, there I am. There's my childhood, right there. But like, I feel like big video game companies don't make single-player video games anymore. Like, I mean, like, maybe Nintendo, but it's mostly just Mario. Like, some Mario games from my childhood was, and Pokemon 2. Pokemon Blue Rescue Team was also a childhood favorite of mine, but old video games that were just amazing back then. Super Mario Sunshine, Shadow of the Colossus, the Uncharted series, Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker, the Twilight Princess, Super Mario Galaxy, Smash Bros. Brawl was my introduction to the series. I loved it. I also had Surf's Up as a video game. Then there was also like the Lego games, like Lego Indiana Jones, Lego Star Wars. I also had Shrek for the GameCube and the Game Boy. Shrek 2 for the GameCube and Game Boy.
Yeah. I know you have much more experience with video games than me, so I kind of let you take the lead on that conversation. But my introduction was I had a little Game Boy. I had a little Einstein's game on it, and I played that a lot. But I think like the time when like my whole family like really acknowledged video gaming as a new thing was the original Wii. When the original Wii came out, my like grandma got it. She was like, guys, there's this new thing, we're all gonna play it, there's like a fitness aspect to it. And I'm like, hell yeah. And so it's like we're all over there for like Thanksgiving, and she takes out the Wii and like everybody's playing it. I was like as a little kid, I was like, we're living in the future, I love this. And we got a little balance board and we were doing our skiing and stuff, and it's such fond memories of that. Eventually I think I got the Wii and I stopped playing it. I moved on to PlayStation, and then I had a neighbor who had Little Big Planet. I became obsessed with Little Big Planet. I don't know if I beat the game, but
we had it. We just never really used it.
Yeah, and now I got it. And I had a PS3, and then I exchanged it at like a second in Charles for PS4. It wasn't a one-to-one exchange, obviously, but I got PS4, and then I started playing stuff like Monster Hunter and Detroit Become Human on there.
The only Kirby game I ever played, and I loved it, was Kirby Superstar Ultra. My God, that was amazing. I wish I got more into the Kirby games, but like, I don't know. Then there's also Sonic Rush, Sonic and the Secret Rings, Sonic and the Black Knight, Dark Knight, one of the two. I loved those. And then there's Jimmy Neutron for the GameCube. there was Hannah Montana and That's So Raven and Lizzie McGuire for the Game Boy. Nicktoons Unite for the GameCube. Then there's like this Nicktoons Unite version for the Game Boy, but it's like robots. Jeez. And okay, here's what brought me and my siblings together growing up. Rock Band. We each pick an instrument and play together. Then there was a Surf's Up.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. That reminds me. Another big reason we got the Wii is because my grandma did jazzercise, and so she got Just Dance. And we would dance until we literally couldn't anymore. The sun would go down and we'd be dead all over her carpeted living room. But anyway.
The things that would bring me and my siblings together, games. I said Surf's Up, Monkey Ball, I forgot which one it was. Rock Band, Lights, Camera, Pants, which was a SpongeBob game where you participated in a bunch of mini games and like show a cutscene depending on which winner's avatar was there. I used to always watch my brother play SpongeBob the movie, the video game. He got to the final stretch of the game. He was back in Bikini Bottom, heading back to the Krusty Krab to beat King Neptune, but he just never completed it. To be fair, I never beat Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door. I got to level 90 something on the 100 floor trial, died, and then like started crying, and that was it.
I don't know why this was the case with me, but I found myself often going over to neighbors' houses to play video games on their consoles. I don't know why I just didn't have my own. I had my own for the majority of the time I was playing video games, but I was always going to my neighbors to play Mario Kart. I forget which version, but we would play Mario Kart all day.
I just remembered the last game me and my family would bond over. It was for the GameCube, and it would be Mario Kart Double Dash. Here's the thing. I was never the driver. I hated driving. It was split up into teams of two, my two sisters, and then me and my brother. My brother would be the one driving, and I would be the one handling the items. We were amazing. First place all the time. We kicked the shit out of our sisters in the game.
My first Pokemon game was like Omega or Alpha Sapphire. So I joined really late in the game.
And then there's like Nintendogs, Pokemon Platinum. That was incredible. The only Mario 64 game I played was for the Mario 64 DS version. Then there's Mario and Luigi, Bowser's Inside Story, Diddy Kong Racing. God, that was great. We used to have the Cars game for the GameCube. You could like get different colored Lightning McQueens. There's like designs you could buy.
It's something I've just been saving to the end though, is Minecraft. Because we talked about Minecraft YouTubers, but Minecraft I had played such a considerable amount of time more than literally any other game in my life. It is changed with me throughout all these years. It's constantly adding stuff. I've played it since the very, very beginning.
I already brought it up.
That's he's bringing up Fossil Fighters, but I just wanted to lay my heart out on the table for Minecraft. I think, just like if you had to pick one, I think Minecraft, in my opinion, is the best video game.
I think there hasn't been a game like Minecraft. I mean, the closest thing I could compare to is Terraria, and even that, it's close, but it's not Minecraft.
Nothing
Minecraft is special. It keeps updating, and like it keeps on pulling new users.
It knows what to not change.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to do a thing where it's like, oh, now you have a thirst meter.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's going to alienate players. It is just challenging enough to be the maximum amount of enjoyable.
I just want to bring up these two old Minecraft servers a zombie manic, where it's like a zombie game. There would be one zombie and then a whole bunch of humans, and you'd have to like run around and hide to survive from the zombies. And each time a zombie got a person, that person would turn into a zombie.
Where did you start playing Minecraft on?
The computer.
For me, it was the phone.
Okay. I was just like confused if you were talking about like what version did I start?
No.
I don't know that, but I remember playing before The Witch was introduced.
Yeah, I've been playing for a long time, and I started on my phone, and then eventually moved to a Mac laptop because that's what I used for school, and everybody had it. It was like everybody was obsessed about it. And then, I think you'd agree, Minecraft sort of fell off. It lost sort of the public image that it had.
Less mods started coming out.
Not
less
that like
maps.
not that something happened, but it just people lost interest. And then something happened, like summer 2019.
Just
I think it was
a Minecraft
PewDiePie's series.
explosion.
I think it was PewDiePie's series that helped it. But everybody got back into game. Hermitcraft just exploding again. Stampy did a bunch of new stuff. It was such a nice time. Like I literally like remember waking up on Christmas morning, like waiting to open my presents and watching Stampy's like Christmas video, where he like like on Xbox Minecraft they'd have like the pre-made maps and it's just like a Christmas town. I would just watch him like go explore, or like on a rainy day I would just roll out of bed and go watch Krause's inspiration series. It's like Minecraft videos were always there anytime I wanted to watch it.
I remember being introduced to Minecraft to my friend by my friend's cousin, and his name was Alfonso, but little kid me kept on calling him Alfredo. When he first showed me Minecraft, that you could do anything, like you could build anything, create anything, my first thought whenever he started showing it to us was, hey, you should have a snowball fight with that chicken right there.
Yeah.
Just keep doing it. I kept on bugging him to do it until he did it. That's
just,
what got me into Minecraft.
Like I would have sleepovers where literally the only thing we did, like until the sun came up, was just play Minecraft. It's great. But like I'd fall asleep with my boiling laptop on top of my legs.
Last thing I want to talk about, it wasn't in the early 2000s, it was in 2014, but Five Nights at Freddy's, the first one. I remember staying up late at night watching people play it. I remember going to a sleepover and playing it. I remember playing it out in the middle of a thunderstorm. Like I had a patio cover so I wouldn't die or get my computer destroyed. But I remember playing it out there and jumping when the lightning came out. And one fond memory I have was watching Markiplier play it, and I was home alone. It was like during a heat wave, and all of a sudden the lights on the game went out because he lost power, and then the lights in my house went out. I was like, oh god, that's a little bit creepy. And then right behind the computer I heard something start rustling, and like my heart like dropped. It turned out obviously I wasn't actually an animatronic, but it was just my cat that was behind the computer, and I just had no idea she was there.
What did your room look like?
Blank.
Really? I think all like 2000's kids' room looked very liminal. We're going to do an episode on liminal spaces too eventually, and I think that's the basis in them, because really it's mostly just Gen Z that acknowledges liminal spaces, and I think it's because there's such a 2000's look to the places in those photos.
My bedroom was blank, nothing on the walls, nothing on the ceilings, nothing on the floor. The only thing I had was the TV sitting on the
I'm thinking
counter
it is
across from my bed.
Box televisions that would like actively heat up the room. You have a lava lamp?
No.
I had a lava lamp. I had a few lava lamps actually. Ooh, I'm looking at. You remember the original Disney Channel logo, where there's like some milkiness behind it?
And then they would like
What was
draw
that?
it. Is that Diary of the Wimpy Kid?
I
Diary of
never
the
read
Wimpy
this.
Kid, Big Nate, Pop Tropica. Can't believe we forgot about.
Oh, I played that for a long time. That was
I
like
love.
that was like fulfilling the niche that Minecraft had on me before Minecraft. Do you remember silly bands?
Silly bands.
Were they banned at your school?
No.
They weren't mine. We were one of the schools where they were banned.
Did you get Pokemon cards as a kid?
No, that was later for me. I did Pokemon stuff later.
What about Go-Go's?
Yeah, those little guys.
Those hurt my finger, but they were fun as hell.
Mighty Beans too.
Mm-hmm.
I was a big like collectible guy, so I had
Mighty
those. I had
Beans.
Mighty Beans.
Mighty Beans was something that killed.
Was it Bakugans?
Bakugans.
Yeah.
And Bionicles.
I missed Bionicles and Beyblades. I passed me.
I miss the old Beyblades, you know, where they were like pure metal and they would just fucking destroy anything plastic.
Yeah. I think something that really just emphasizes 2000s is a Scholastic book fair. Did you go to those?
Yeah, I did. There was one book, it was shit, but I loved it as a kid.
Oh my gosh, wait. Okay, I don't want to spend too much time on it because we just finished video games. But I forgot about iPhone games. Angry Birds, Doodle Jump, Cut the Rope. Those are kind of getting into more recent, but I remember those old games.
Okay. Graphic novels, real quick, everybody remembers Bones. Bones was incredible, but there's this one book, graphic novel, I picked up from a Scholastic book fair. I remember it being, I read it recently, it was shit, but as a kid I loved it. Pandemonium. Yeah, here's the image right here. Because, like, I don't know if it's considered obscure or not, but, I love it.
You know, this picture, oh my gosh, I'm saving it right now because it perfectly summarizes my entire diet. As a kid. Kid cuisine and Trix Yoplait yogurt, where it's like 2 colors.
None of those growing up.
Kid cuisine would have this like pudding that was vanilla, you dyed it blue, and I can only imagine how much that absolutely destroyed my insides.
Just looking at that, Roman, gives me a
The
physical
Scooby Snack
reaction.
gummies.
Never had them.
I ate so much it actually ruined my digestional system. I'm not even joking. Like I legit had to go to the doctor. Tamagotchi, that's like a bit before our time.
Never got them.
Yeah.
Never had a Furby either.
At this point, we're just looking at Google Images to jog our memory, but...
As a kid, I had this Buzz Lightyear remote-controlled car, but the thing is, when the remote would be off, but the car was on, the car would pick up random radio waves, or whatever the fuck it used, it would start moving on its own, and it scared the shit out of me and my brother.
Also, you know what I feel like doesn't come by anymore? Ice cream trucks. Because
Ice
those little
cream
character
trucks.
ice cream pot, like the SpongeBob one, where it looks like the eyes are like demonic.
I only seen 2 ice cream trucks in my life. One at my grandmother's house when I was younger, and then one recently at my sister's old house. She recently moved.
Yeah.
That just disgusts me.
This is a Turning Red hater. I haven't seen the movie, so I don't really have an opinion on it.
It's not about the movie itself. I'm talking about the animation. It seems like a bunch of modern movies, animated children's movies, are using that type of animation, and like, all right, 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever, I'm fine with those. But when it's what they only do, they don't do anything else. Just disgusting.
Okay, but this is an interesting film to mention though, Turning Red, because it takes place in 2002.
Oh, damn.
It's an early 2000s nostalgia movie, so it's like I feel like that justifies this episode. We're far enough removed from this that we can look back on it.
So they're playing on our emotions to get us to watch it.
Yeah.
To bring up things.
I also feel like similar energy to the Scholastic the Scholastic Book Fair is just like old PE equipment that smelled like sweat, like the little rolly carts and like the big tarp that had like rainbow colors on it.
The Fitness Gram Pacer Test is a multi-stage aerobic
Did you have to
capacity
take
test.
that? Did you have to take the fitness gram pacer test?
Yeah.
I took the
multiple
presidential fitness test.
times. The Fitness Gram Pacer Test is a multi-stage aerobic capacity.
I just love the colors of everything. They're so gaudy and awful, but,
But,
I love it.
It's better than the bleak shit they have now.
Now everything is gray.
The S in Blue's Clues.
The Stussy is still around. That's still, I see that on
I
college
never
campuses.
learned how to use the S. It was never taught to me.
That's
so
not
I
even
just-
drawn correctly in it.
I know it's not, but like nobody taught me how to do the S. So I'm just jealous and feel like I missed out as a kid.
So sorry you feel that way.
Modern video games, by the way, Enter the Gungeon, Magicite, One Shot.
We talked enough about that. Oh my gosh! Easy bake ovens. Did you ever try one of those?
I wanted to get one as a birthday, but they were all girly, so I
The
wasn't
amount
allowed
of
to get one.
salmonella that those things probably gave
It
kids.
didn't work well.
No, that's like, it's like trying to cook a cake on like the heated element of your laptop. Like, I just think that all these ingredients, just when exposed to air, would like cook properly, you know? Play-Doh, I was super into Play-Doh.
Play-Doh.
I was super into Play-Doh.
The animal plates.
Zoo Pals! I love Zoo Pals.
And then those little stamps. You get like stamps, like little colorful characters.
Yeah, this is going way back.
Nick,
Yeah.
Nick, 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 Nickelodeon. Yeah.
And like, I feel like also in the early 2000s, we still had like the tail end of like 90s commercials. They were so over the top. It even like infected like infomercials where they're just trying to sell a product and they're still saying crap like radical and like screaming at the camera and the angles like this.
Who was that infomercial seller that was like really popular?
Billy Mays here with the power of OxyClean.
That's the one. Billy Mays. I miss him. Phineas and Ferb. We gotta bring up Phineas and Ferb.
Yeah. There's gotta be
Click
so
on
much
that
you
right
forget.
there.
Wow, I just see this. Did you have a little pillow pad?
I still have my pillow pet. It's a monkey. Webkins. Oh my! I had so many Webkins. Oh, and Fairy Tale, one of the first animes I ever watched alongside Angel Beats.
Oh, Lego Ninjago. I watched that. I watched the hell out of that.
The
Ant
Magic.
Farm. Did you watch Ant Farm?
I did not.
I was an Ant Farm kid. I based a good portion of my personality off of Fletcher.
The Magic School Bus. Those little fortune teller things where it's like, and then Smiley Fries. Mm-hmm.
Lisa Frank was very, very popular.
Never heard
Mostly
of
with
it.
girls, but it's like those. It's just where it just had like unicorns and shit all over it.
I remember like seeing Winx Club and like motherfucking Totally Spies. I don't know. if
Capri
this
Sun.
one good. Ooh,
I drank Capri
I
Sun
don't
like
like
I watched it
Capri
so
Sun.
much. Club Penguin.
I was a
I never went
Kool-Aid.
on Club Penguin. Did you go on that? I know it's pretty
No,
popular.
neither did I. I was a Kool-Aid kid. My grandmother, every time she made Kool-Aid, would do this little song. Kool-Aid, Kool-Aid, can't wait. What? No. Kool-Aid, Kool-Aid, tastes great. Kool-Aid, Kool-Aid, can't wait.
Oh my. I see DeviantArt around here. There was very much like a wave of people on DeviantArt that I missed. And I'm glad I did because all these kids that went on there at that time deeply regret it from what I understand. I joined it later in the game. Ooh, I also feel like, hold on, I'm gonna get them. We're gonna end out the episode with these. You vamp. Hi.
My childhood video game websites were dressandplay.com. It's been taken down. There's like something armor games or whatever. And last thing, Homestuck started in 2009. Just
For Christ's sake.
I didn't watch it till like mid high school.
Y'all are just gonna have to bear with him, but there's eventually gonna be an episode where he just rants about Homestuck for I don't know how many hours.
You don't have to watch it if you don't want to.
There's something I
It's gonna
brought
happen.
that I feel like would be a great way to wrap up this episode. Some cosmic brownies.
They make the back of my throat feel like it's bleeding.
Fine, more for me.
I
This
didn't
is the
say I
most-
didn't fucking want one. Give me one.
This is the most quintessential 2000s snack.
I was never allowed them as a kid.
It says strawberry shortcake on these, but I don't think that has anything to do with the flavor. I think they're just normal.
Oh, that's another thing from my childhood. Eating strawberry shortcakes. Like during strawberry seasons, they would like sell strawberry shortcake bread, and then you'd chop up some strawberries, put them on, and then add some whipped cream. Amazing.
Did you have like a specific diet back then, or you just kind of?
Whatever my parents cooked, my dad had a bunch of Chips Ahoy cookies. I had Cocoa Pebbles. I still drink chocolate milk. It's amazing. Milk, some Hershey's liquid chocolate, mix it in, amazing. Don't get the powdered shit. The powdered shit tastes terrible.
I was a big I'm a big cereal kid. I love cereal.
I also had a ton of Slim Jims.
Also, you see how like kids nowadays, they don't like go out in the street and play anymore. We were like the last generation to do that. I had like scooters and crap that I was riding around all day long.
I actually did not play out in the street. For
Really?
one, yeah.
You seem like the type to do that, exactly.
Roman, you know that the big old house I used to have?
Yeah.
That is where I grew up. Why would I play in the street?
More space.
Why would I play in the street when I had the fucking forest behind my house to play in?
Yeah, but you'd have like a cool scooter. Oh, I get it. You had a four-wheeler.
Yeah, I had this little.
That's why. You were doing something. That's
I
what
had
mean.
this little kid four-wheeler.
You were outside doing stuff.
Ride the trails on. As a kid, we played this game called Manhunt, where it would be like pitch black outside, and we'd all run into the forest and like stay on the trails and like hide. And we'd have to stay out there for a period of time while somebody was searching for us on the four-wheelers with like shining lights all over trying to find us. Then once that time was up, we had to make it back to the house without getting caught. When you were a kid, at recess, what games did you play? Because I played freeze tag and zombie tag.
I didn't really play any games. I was just kind of on the monkey bars and stuff.
Poor kid.
But I'm on the streets. I'm a racer scooter.
Ring pops.
I didn't really eat those, but
Okay,
what I did have a lot of were the they call them a bunch of like Otter Pops, those things. But put them in the freezer.
so
Oh, little barrel drinks too.
Mugs. Yeah.
Something that I was also really into when I was younger was like play places. Whether it was McDonald's or Chuck E. Cheese or even like the Boneyard at Animal Kingdom, my parents could not get me out of there. Loved it.
My parents never allowed me playing those types of places. Like they would take if I went to so the only like little play area like that, I wasn't allowed to use the ones like McDonald's, but like there's this place called the Fun Barn, 3 stories. There was arcade machines, mini golf out back, and then the play area was 3 stories tall. And on the inside there's slides, little like zip lines, but yeah, they're like only a foot off the ground, and then like a ball pit and slides all over. It was amazing.
Now they just have those like big places where the floor is just trampolines.
And I don't like that.
And all the kids just sit there on their phones.
I don't like that.
They take a picture to post on social media to say they went and then they leave.
That's it. There's this specific candy that me and my friend siblings grew up on. It was called Shockers, and I loved it. It was the best. And then recently, well, not recently, but it got rebranded as Sweet Tart Chewy Sours, which, you know, not as interesting as a name, but, you know, it's good.
Wait, these?
Yeah, have them? Not Sweet Tart Chewies, Sweet Tart Chewy Sours. There's a difference. Sweet Tart Chewy Sours are sour, Sweet Tart Chewies are tart, making them not as good.
Are we still in focus? Okay.
My favorite candy was like Fruit Roll-Ups back then. They kind of still are. I love them. But oh, I'm seeing right here, High C. I drank that with every meal. It was an issue.
I still get high C when I go to, like, you know, Cane's or something.
They don't have it in as many places. Oh, that makes me just like Happy Meals in general. I would get those all the time. And I think it was like when like Attack of the Clones was coming out.
Never watched it.
They were. You haven't seen Attack of the Clones?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, when that was coming out, my parents just like went on an all-out, and my grandma went on like an all-out war to get me every Happy Meal toy. Of like, so I have all the characters from like Phantom Menace or whatever. Oh, I remember I was really off-put by like the shift from Disney to Disney XD. Like, what is this? What's this grimy grown-up stuff? And then it was just Zeke and Luther, and I was like, oh, okay. That, and way earlier on, The Wiggles. Did you watch The Wiggles?
No, but Yo Gabba Gabba. You watch Yo Gabba Gabba?
Mm-mm.
Did you go to laser tag places as a kid?
Only a couple times.
I want to do that as a grown-up. Just get like a horde of us and just go play laser tag.
We're gonna wrap this up. We're just kind of sitting here eating now. But, yeah. Thank you for joining us.
You're telling me these people don't want to see us eat?
It is pretty popular.
It is.
If I put mukbang in this title, we're good. But no, so thank you for joining us on this trip back in time. I'll be honest, I don't know how frequent episodes are going to be, not that they're frequent to begin with, but we're both starting a new semester of college, and that's going to keep us very busy. So bear with us, but we hope to continue.
That being said, for today's question, in the comments, put your favorite Phineas and Ferb song. They have a song for each episode. It was in the 2000s, so it's relevant. So put in the comments your favorite Phineas and Ferb song. See you next time.
Harry the Platypus.